All right, it's time to go tractor pulling. Once we finally made it through the shit show that is the parking lot out here, so they need to get somebody out here directing traffic, because everybody just kind of goes in between the trucks and trailers. There's no spot to get turned around and there's no spot to park tractors. So, but is what it is. We're gonna get, I brought the 1955 up here last night. It's parked over there with the other tractors, and then we got to get this thing unloaded, get weighed in, get checked in, and all that jive. So we will catch you guys here once the pull starts. lucky enough to draw first hook in her class, so she can do it twice. We'll see how she does. The track is bad once you get under the roof. It's bad. It's sticky. It's got a hole in it. Shelly's up after Scott here, so I don't want to get too far down the track, but I wanted to get him on video at least a little bit. This guy's got a white American 80 that I want really, really bad. Really bad. He's got that tractor dialed in. He's always really hard to beat. But he does have that thing dialed in really good. Alright, here's her second hook. She forgot to put it in high last time, so I told her to get it in high coming off the line this time. And I also told her to hang to this side of the track just a little bit more this time. I think she'll be just fine. Luckily, all the hot farm tractors that have been pulling in her class have been getting DQ'd because they've been going over the speed limit. Shelly got fifth.
You got fifth? Hey, not too bad.
those watching, this is Kyle Dargis, Ethan's, also known as the Deer Killer 2000. I am now videoing for Ethan as he gets his tractor ready. This is Ethan's class.
And again, the empty 4,500-pound tractors need to be lined up. Shortly, they're going to follow this class. And the youth tractors, 900 pounds, 14 horsepower, they should be able to.
Matt needs a straight pipe more than anything. Here we got Kid and Marsh getting the 4320. First time ever pulling it, as you can tell. He does have throttle left, not sure why he's not using it. 66 is coming hot down the track. You can hear him coming, you can feel him coming. There is no slowing that tractor, is just go.
This is the 88 diesel that I put the rear end back together in. Unfortunately, the clutch was starting to slip in it, and I wasn't able to hang around long enough to fix that problem. So I don't know how he's going to do it here, but oh, Tim, he just loves that tractor. He's like the little damn kid when you put him on it. action. He had it in high. I saw the rubber. That was a nice 880 though. Still good hook.
horses in favor of Berrien.
Been told this guy watches my channel, so we're gonna do a good job for him.
And our next driver is Caden Marshley on agenda 4455.
until the first pull here on the 18,000 pound class, and then all of a sudden the carriage started making one heck of a caterwauling, and he started dropping the pan before the weight box made it all the way to the end. It's weird.
Our next category is the 22,000 pound category. We have two entrants, starting with Shane Maston. On the Skyler.
everything's home. I just gotta get the T off, or not the T, get the 1955 off the trailer. 1800's already sitting down at the barn. But all in all, not too bad of a day. Obviously, we know already Shelly got 5th. But the first 4 tractors in her class were all hot farm. So she was the first stock tractor to place. And then I got 11th in the 12,000. But the first 7 tractors in my class were all hot farm. And then the 3 guys ahead of me were all stock. Well, there was one guy ahead of me, was my buddy Ron, with an 1855 Cummins conversion, so he wasn't stock. He's running about 200 and, what did that thing dyno at? 290 horse. If I remember right, is what that thing was putting out on the dyno when we did it several years ago. Or was it 190? 290? It was a lot. It way north of stock. But anyhow, other than that, other than him and the other 3 guys ahead of me, they were all stock, but the first 7 in the class, not so much. And I beat some that were not so stock too. I beat a Ford 8210 with a Genesis motor in it. I beat him by almost 4 feet. So you win some, you lose some. But when you're pulling against hot farm tractors, and on that track, you either need duals, or you need to have enough horsepower that you can just keep the wheels spinning and keep your momentum up. Which I got plenty of power, I can't. You need to be able to run 6 mile an hour on the line. And that was the other stupid thing, is like, it's supposed to be 6 mile an hour farm stock class. The tractor that took first in Shelly's class topped out at 9 mile an hour, and they didn't disqualify him. I thought they were DQing all the hot farm guys for running over in her class, but there was 5 or 6 tractors in her class that went over 6 mile an hour by a lot, and they let them, they still placed them. It was kind of stupid. Same thing in my class. But it's supposed to be a 6 mile an hour speed limit farm stock. It's supposed to be. But anyway, back to what I was saying. You need duals, or you need to have, you know, a hot farm tractor with enough horsepower that you just get your wheel speed up and you just brute force it out the end of the track just on sheer wheel speed. And it really comes down to how they work the track, because that track is all clay base. It's all clay. It's got a little bit of sand in it, but for the most part, it's all clay. And they go through first thing Monday morning, and they just soak the ever-loving shit out of it and turn it into a mud hole and pack it down. And the outside under the roof starts drying out fairly quickly, but it never dries out inside under the roof. And you can feel it the minute you drive from sunlight into underneath the roof. You can feel the ass end of the tractor hunker down, and it's like going from driving on a bowling alley to trying to pull it across a sticky trap. The skid pan starts hanging, and basically all you can do is horse it as far as you can horse it. And by about a 1:30-ish, after they've pulled the antiques and stuff, the inside of the track is finally dry enough. It's not like that anymore, and you can tell they're not cutting ruts all the way down anymore. They're not getting a big pile of dirt in front of the skid pan anymore. That's about the time that track's perfect, but it takes 5.5 hours of drying to get it to that point. And at that point, the hot farm guys that are running the speed limit start to lose their advantage, and the stock guys start catching up with them, because the stock guys don't have to fight trying to pull it through a wet hole, and they're on a good hard packed dry track, and they can get the traction, and they're not fighting the skid pan on the sled trying to drag it through glue. But the early classes, you get screwed because you're trying to pull it through glue. And they do it, I shouldn't say every year, because it used to not be like that. There used to be, I'm trying to remember who they used to get in there for a crew, because the night pull is an ITPA pull. And I'm trying to remember back, and this has been probably 6, 7, 8 years ago now, before they started switching and getting their own crew in to work the track. The ITPA provided the daytime track crew too, because they wanted the track maintained to ITPA specs. Those guys could build a damn pulling track. the guys we got doing it now, not so much. They could do a decent job if we took their water wagon privileges away from them, because they don't need to. I mean, that track would be perfect if they did it once, like just enough to knock the dust down in the morning, and then once again at noon in between the farm stock classes and the because they go farm stock up to 12,000, antiques and garden tractors, and then the heavy farm stock classes after that. So like in between the 12,000 and the antique class, wet it again to knock the dust down, and then wet it again before the night pull. That's all they need to do, and that track will be mint, but they don't. So the hot farm guys, they get the advantage because they have the horsepower to get the wheel speed, and the track is sticky enough that for the most part they don't have to worry about going over 6 miles an hour, because the sled's heavy enough to hold them back, and then they can just pour the coal on it. But you can sit here and say whatever you want. At the end of the day, if you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. And honestly, I was within about 10 feet of the first hot farm tractor, and it's a matter of how much more do you want to spend on a tractor to turn it into a pure pulling tractor to get an extra 10 feet out of it. But Shelly, she did really good. That 1800, that thing is set up perfect for a 10,000 pound class if she was pulling solely against farm stock tractors. That thing would be, if I could get a little bit more weight on the nose, which the only way to do that, I could probably get I could probably get a slab on the front if I pulled the 3-point and everything off of it like I do on this. I could probably hang a slab on the front. But it's one of them deals, if you could probably jump down a class and get it into the 8 if you pulled the cast rear wheels off and put stamped steel on it, but then you wouldn't be able to run duals, because that would probably put you back up over 8. And if you did do all that, I don't think you would have enough wiggle room even with the wheels off to start moving weight around. I think you would be in the 8 the way it sits, and that would be it. At least in the 10, I have options of where I can put weight and I run the duals, which I think the duals are what give that thing its advantage, because it's light enough to run them. There really weren't, I can't remember if there's anybody else in her class running duals or not, but like I say, she was the first farm stock tractor, and then the 4 ahead of her were all hot farms, so doing something right. But she got herself a ribbon, and it paid back 30 bucks, and it's 20 to get in. So she made 10. Well, she made 30 bucks on the deal, because I paid the 20 bucks for. I paid for both of our hook fees, but that's okay. She deserves it. So. But anyhow, I'm gonna get this thing unloaded, get the tractor, truck, and trailer taken care of, and go put this video together and call it an afternoon, because I get to go back to work tomorrow. Start the new job, yay. So anyhow, that being said, that's it for this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one.